Hi there, I'm Kerry Bannigan, founder of the Conscious Fashion Campaign. I'm dialing in from the UK. Andrew, where are you today?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Lucia?
I'm in New York, the epicenter of the epidemics.
Well, it's good to see you safe and well, and I have to say that I miss being with you both, and I'm looking forward to when we can all reconnect and hug and hang out on those amazing Kingpin stages again. So I would love it if you could actually both, starting with you, Lucia, share a little bit about who you are and where you're working.
Thank you, Kerry, and many thanks, Andrew, for organizing the Kingpins 24. Now, it's important, especially in these times, to have a longer-term vision of something that brings us back to normalcy and gives us an ability to look beyond the very epidemics we are and the dire situation we are in right now. So on the question to Kerry, my name is Lucie Brigham. I'm here on behalf of the United Nations Office of Partnerships. We are based in New York. We are part of the UN headquarters. I'm actually looking at it from my window. And our team is, our main objective of the UN Office of Partnerships. Our team is focusing on serving as a gateway for partnerships between organizations, private sector, alliances like the Kingpin and the textile industry, and connecting them with relevant partners within the UN system with the overall objective to advance the Sustainable Development Goals. So what it means specifically, we advise, guide, we introduce and bring the partners together. We convene and help convenings, and we help to share positive stories of leaders and innovative ideas and those who are thinking out of the box and really take the SDGs to the core of their businesses and help influence and inspire others.
And Andrew, over to you. While here we'll have the denim community who's like a family and very familiar with you, I'd love you to share a little bit about your background and Kingpins, and especially now Kingpins 24, for those that are now able to connect with you and what you stand for, because going digital now means more global access and inclusivity.
I'm Andrew Olah. I've been in the textile business for 42 or 43 years. I worked in denim the majority of my life. And in 2004, we started the Kingpins Supply Chain Show, which runs today in New York and Amsterdam and Hong Kong and China, or has been until this epidemic. And we don't know what's going to happen going forward, but we assume we're going to come back to the same things. And our show has allowed me and all of us that work there the chance to dig in with our exhibitors on how we can make a difference with regards to the environment and to prioritize it in our show and to make it a substantial component of our show. So that's been great and kind of a treat that we've been able to do that. And then last year, or at the end of last year, early this year, we started the Kingpins Transformers, which is an offshoot of our Transformers seminar series that we've been doing for years, where we can actually educate people and the public or students or the industry. And we eventually will want to write papers, and we want to take positions on different subjects so that we can actually clarify certain things that might be unclear or murky and help people with education make better decisions when they want to have a choice and affect sustainability in their lives.
Brilliant, thank you for that. Now we're going to get into this deeper conversation about how the Sustainable Development Goals have been now incorporated into the framework of Kingpins. Before we do that, Lucia, can you give us an overview of the Sustainable Development Goals, why they were established and when?
So I now if this was a true Kingpin show in Amsterdam, New York, and anywhere else, I would look at the audience if I was invited, and I would ask, can you please let me know who from the audience, who is aware, who understands the SDGs, who is using them. And I have to say that through our engagements with the Kingpins in the past year and a half, the crowd has been expanding. And to those who has not raised the hand yet, I would like to just summarize it very quickly. So the goals, the Sustainable Development Goals, or as we love to call them, the SDGs or the goals, they present this platform. They are, it's a formulation of all key challenges that human race is facing at this current point. And it's basically the very ambitious blueprint of what do we need to do to make the world a better place for everyone, to make the world sustainable, to preserve the nature, put the climate change under control, to make sure that our impact on the environment is well thought through, and we leave behind a planet that is worth living on for the future generation, for our kids and our grandchildren. So to be more specific and provide a more UN-ish answer is, these are 17 goals that were adopted by the member states of the UN. They were adopted in 2015. There's an expiration date. We hope to achieve them by 2030. They include challenges such as addressing the poverty, hunger, inequalities, like very, very traditional, historically interweaved into the human history challenges. But there are also some challenges that are more specific for the century and for the denim crowd. Responsible consumption production is one of them. How do we deal with consumption of energy and water? What do we do about the environment? And how do we engage the communities? How do we provide the communities we work with equal access to a fair life? And with that, maybe I could add one more point. Kerry, stop me when I'm talking too much. The goals are, these challenges, it's not really anything new, but what is specifically unique about them is that they provide a connection platform for everyone to really connect, understand, map what's wrong, what could be done to improve within our operating environment, and collaborate. So there are a couple of aspects. One, they are universal. They apply to any community, any country, any company, everywhere. They are interconnected. They analyze how, by working on sustainability in the denim industry, how does it impact the environment and overall poverty level. And then they are also focused on collaboration and partnerships. And that's why I'm here.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. So Andrew, in 2019, you began the process of requiring exhibitors to meet or exceed in the areas of corporate social responsibility, environment, and chemical usage. Please tell us all about why you did that and more about this criteria.
We haven't, I have to correct you, we haven't done environment yet. We're going to do that. So we have 2 of the 3. Almost.
That's okay. It's a start. Isn't that what the SDGs are all about, Lucia?
Absolutely. Step by step.
In 2019, when you made that announcement, it was so bold, and it was something that, we already have so much great respect for you, but it was so wonderful to see you as a leader step up and make this announcement of what you're going to do. So please do share more with us about this.
What's really joyful about it is that all of our exhibitors endorsed it. Nobody really said no at all.
Incredible.
So that was the part that we kind of knew in the back of our mind, that there would be a positive reaction. And so we simply said that historically textile mills don't have to have social compliance standards because they've never been chased by advocates. So they've never been a key point of reference for people. Garment factories have, but the actual fabric mills haven't. And so I thought, well, why wouldn't they be? Why would they be not, required to have a standard? So we wanted them all to have certifications, any certification. We were not asking for, it was like buying a car. We didn't ask them to buy Mercedes, we just asked them to buy any old car. So they did, and all of the certifications, include the ILO requirements or what they believe. And so any certification is better than nothing. So we've moved up the step. And I guess going forward, when the world goes back to some kind of normalcy, we'll raise the level of what we want them to have. So on social compliance, I think we made a big step up. We converted with our request, I'm guessing 50 mills. 7 had them already and a couple were in work. So that was a big kind of impact. And then on the chemical side, we partnered with ZDHC. There are so many standards around. And we just thought that working with ZDHC would be a great way for all the brands to get on their system and have progress on the chemical side. And once we get back to normalcy again, we'll go and look at environmental and then request that. And I think everybody will endorse that and want to do that.
Kerry, can I take
Please.
opportunity and
Please.
ask Andrew my question? So Andrew, when I met you for the first time, I was impressed by your knowledge, understanding, and enthusiasm for the Sustainable Development Goals. So my question to you is, why do you think the goals are relevant for the denim industry?
I thought about that many times. The first thing is that they're right. So the things that I mean, it's not that complicated actually. The Sustainable Development Goals are things that everyone should think of, and not to get theological, but it doesn't matter what religion you are, but the 10 Commandments have some sort of basis for any kind of decency of behavior. And I think the Sustainable Development Goals are the same kind of things. They're just fundamental things that all of us, business and life, should consider as we progress, and should be concerned with paying attention to. So that's one. Two, that it comes from you. If the Sustainable Development Goals are created by somebody else, a private entity, or they're created by some other organization, but this is the United Nations. The United Nations represents all of the world. So that's a very profound and significant voice of authority. And then I guess, they're just, the global side of it is, of course, the final part, that we're talking about the whole world. So what it is, who it's coming from, and the size of the impact of the reach is all things that made us really interested in it and want to work with you and ask you to collaborate with us because of the impact that we can make with it.
Stepping on to that, actually, where you say about the impact, what do you think the key areas are that the denim industry should focus on to advance the goals?
It's always the same things when it comes to the environment. It's, well, first of all, labor, clearly, and especially in today's world, it's important. But the fundamentals are always water, energy, and waste. So those are all the things that we as an industry, we all knew we could do better. I don't think that was a secret to anyone, and that was like an uncovering of something special. We all know it, and we all know what we can do, and we all can do it and want to do it.
So back to me, my question. We know, why is it relevant? Why the denim industry needs to, what are the intersection points between the denim and the key players there and SDGs and the goals? My question is looking forward. What do you think needs to be done? Where are the priorities on the path we are taking towards the sustainability?
We need to educate people about ways we can do better. We need to really educate the consumer. I think the consumer is really an element to the puzzle, because consumers need to want companies to do it. I mean, there's also articles right now that with all that's going on and with consumer being so silent the last little while because of the situation, people are asking questions like, will sustainability still be important to the consumer post-COVID? I mean, that's crazy talk. But it is going on in the communications that we're seeing. So I think that we have to really, really attack the consumer more and more as a group, all of us, all the different things that we do, and make them aware that sustainability is not an option. It's got to be the only thing that exists. And I guess the last thing is we have to educate the public, the business, and we have to reward the successful ones. So I think that, the activists will take care of the ones that are not successful, but we in our little world would like to reward the companies that are doing best practices, and they deserve to be known.
Can I have a follow-up question to this, or more like a comment? You mentioned that I'm glad you connected the the goals with the current pandemic, the global crisis that is going on. And I just wanted to say that now the only way that is fully recognized, I think, by everyone, that the only way we can we can control the pandemic and guide our way to the recovery and normalcy again is by working together. It's obvious that no company, no society, no community, no country alone can tackle this. And that's the underlining principle of both the Sustainable Development Goals and the pandemics. So the concept of collaboration, sharing information, resources, pulling knowledge, expertise together to figure out how best to resolve the problem so we can collectively move to something that is beneficial for all. And besides of my 3 keywords that I have as a mantra for my COVID days is the collaboration, solidarity. We have to understand that it's not just about one entity's or one person goals, but we have to collaborate and help each other out. And kindness, like very old-fashioned act of kindness. And on that, I wanted to go back to Kerry.
Just as we're coming to wrap up, Andrew, I would love you to just share with us some of the brands, exhibitors, meals, any of the businesses that are in your community that actually have successfully integrated the SDGs into their business models. You mentioned earlier that there'd been a positive response. You know your community so well. I think it was great you found the right time when to introduce the standards and to be able to help and guide them. But for the audience, can we have any examples? You don't need to mention businesses, but maybe just some of the methodology or practices and principles that you're seeing happening.
All right. Well, I was going to mention, I was actually, when you asked the question, I thought I would mention some superstars. Am I allowed to mention superstars?
Please.
Yes, we love superstars.
Peter G Star is a superstar, so I don't shy about the things that they do. And I don't think it's a coincidence that one of their suppliers is also a superstar, Stytex. So I would start there. There's a company in Pakistan, Artistic Millers, that I consider as verging on a superstar, doing a lot of really, really great work. There's a company in Spain called Royal that's trying to do really great work, and I think they're superstars. So there are some exceptional cases in our industry. What makes them special and what makes them targets for other people to emulate is their decency with their workers, is the way that they handle their production methods, their water, their energy, and their waste. And I think those are things that are important to mention. And yeah, they work. Stytex, for example, is my ultimate superstar manufacturer because they've done it for so long, and they didn't do it for any reason, just because the owner believed in it. And they have just done an amazing job with energy and an amazing job with water. Unbelievable.
And it frequently makes common business sense. Through our conversations, it makes logical, ethical sense. But with some of the companies I have met at the Kingpins or other events, they say, well, saving water and energy is actually good for our business. It's not just that we want to wave the green flag, but it's good for us financially, business-wise.
An ROI, return on investment, that shows that whatever they did had made perfect business sense.
Yeah. And it's important to mention.
I should also mention the Candiani company because they do great. They're superstars as well.
Which one?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Candiani. I'm sure you know them.
Ariani. Oh.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for this. We'll come to a wrap up now. Lucie, is there anything you would like to say? Any final comments? Or Andrew?
No, I just wanted to say many thanks, Kerry, Andrew, your team, and you. I'm so grateful, and I think I admire the ability that you put together, your ability to put together the event, the online event, with such a short time in the very dire, stressful conditions, and it's inspirational and important for us to keep meeting and engaging. Thank you.
We're driving in the snowstorm. It's not an easy task to do, something we've never done before in a hurry.
Yeah.
we'll try our best. Thank you to both of you for supporting Kingpins and the SDGs.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks.